Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. For today's video, I have a bunch of different drugstore products that I'm going to be sharing with you. They are all amazing and all under $20, and I cannot wait to jump into it. Originally, I was thinking I was going to call this Drugstore Hidden Gems, but to be honest, I feel like I'm too removed from beauty YouTube to know if anyone's actually talking about these products or not, which kills me because I used to watch beauty YouTube videos literally every single day, several a day usually. That was like my zen, my calm. I've had no time over the past year or so, just as I've gotten super busy. So I'm working on it. So I don't know if I can call this hidden gems, maybe just drugstore gems, top picks, finds, drugstore products that feel high end. Ooh, I like that. Maybe I'll call it that. I'll figure it out. This is not important. And originally I was going to try to cover all beauty categories in this video, but I was thinking about it and I was like, I want to do another drugstore hair care favorites video separately. So for this video, we are just going to do skincare, body care, and makeup finds from the drugstore. So if you are into affordable beauty, you have come to the right spot. We're going to jump right into that. Before we do, if you're new here, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and drop a comment below. What sort of comment should I have you leave today? Let me know what your favorite kind of coffee is. Because I have my nitro coffee sitting in front of me. It was one of those days. I did not sleep well last night, but that's a story for another time. Let me know what your favorite coffee is. Thank you so much for doing all of those things. It really helps to support me with the YouTube algorithm, so I appreciate you so much. Instagram and TikTok handles are right here, and everything that you could possibly need from me is listed in my description box below. Lightroom presets, merch, discount codes, links, timestamps, and anything else. All right, let's jump into it. All right, let's start off with skincare finds first. This product right here is from a brand that I cannot pronounce, but we're not surprised about that, are we? It's spelled B-Y-B-I, so I think that's pronounced Bibi. I know that you can find this at Target. I don't think they have this brand anywhere else quite yet. This is my favorite product from the brand. It's their Milk Melt Vegan Oat Milk Cleanser. The obsession with this has been a little bit unhealthy, I have to admit, over the past few months. I'm actually seeing in the lighting here that I'm towards the very bottom, which makes sense because I've literally been using this every single day, and I'm feeling panicked about that. I need to repurchase immediately so that I don't have to live without it. It's really like that, it is. This has some great hydrating ingredients in it. I'll quickly read through some of those. It has glycerin, aloe, coconut extract, xylitol, lactic acid, so we'll get some hydration and gentle exfoliation with that ingredient. It has vitamin E and some really nice soothing and protecting ingredients like a probiotic called lactobacillus ferment and oat kernel extract. Plus on top of that, it's fragrance and essential oil free, so all around really great ingredient set. Honestly, for all skin types, but especially those of us, myself included, that have sensitive skin. So I love that. But I love it even more because of the formula. It is so beautiful. This is tied for first place for me now for my favorite cleanser of all time, tied with the Geek and Gorgeous Jelly Joker cleanser. And you guys know how much I love that. This is just something different. I haven't found another cleanser that is quite like this. It's very lightweight, but has that creamy milkiness to it. It's not greasy or unpleasant to use. It's just slippy and silky and slidey, and it just is so easy to rub into the skin, so easy to rinse away. And after I use it, my skin always feels incredible. It feels hydrated yet properly cleansed, so it's not one of those cleansers that's milky and then after you're like, did that even really do anything for me? It really does leave me feeling cleansed but hydrated and replenished, and my skin feels soft and smooth after I use it. I just love it so much, and I always feel like I have such a healthy glow after I use it. So for reference, I have combo skin that leans oily. I'm very acne prone. I have sensitive skin. Just keep that in mind as I'm talking through these things, but I really do think that this would work for all skin types. I feel like if you had dry skin, you would be obsessed with this, but it's not like it's something you can't use if you have oily skin, because I use it and I love it so much. So you guys have to let me know if you try this, and also let me know if you have any milky cleansers that you would recommend, because now I want to try every single milky cleanser ever. Okay, next up we have a new moisturizer from Cetaphil. So this is called their Gentle Clear Mattifying Acne Moisturizer, and it has 0.5% salicylic acid in it. Great ingredient for clogged pores and blackheads, but not the highest amount of that ingredient that you will find in skincare products. But I actually really like that because there's so many other cleansers and serums already that have salicylic acid and higher amounts at that. So if you were still interested in trying this, hopefully it wouldn't be something that irritates your skin or causes dryness or sensitivity, because it's not a really high amount of that ingredient. So I like that it has a little bit of that in there, but on top of that, it has so many other amazing ingredients. And the sum of them all is why I think that this is so amazing, not just because of the addition of salicylic acid. So let's quickly talk through some of those ingredients. It has alpha-glucan oligosaccharide, which is a skin protecting ingredient, zinc gluconate, which is a great ingredient for acne-prone skin because it's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, promotes wound healing, and it helps to soothe the skin. There's also other soothing and calming ingredients like bisabolol and allantoin, brightening ingredients to help to lighten dark spots that are left behind from acne scars like kojic acid and licorice root, and then just some other general goodies to help to moisturize, soften, and hydrate like squalane and hyaluronic acid. So stacked ingredients list, honestly, not that I'm surprised. Cetaphil really has some amazing moisturizers and I feel like they're just totally underrated. If you watched a video that I posted recently where I shared some underrated products from affordable skincare brands, including Cetaphil, then you won't be surprised either because you saw another moisturizer from them that also has a stacked ingredients list that is also incredible. If you haven't seen that, I will list that below, but can't say I'm surprised. Cetaphil has done it again. And this is a formula that's actually really unique. I don't think I have any other moisturizers quite like this. It's kind of like a hybrid between a gel and a cream, or a gel and a lotion, and I personally love it. It feels very soft, moisturizing, hydrating, it's lightweight, but it leaves my skin feeling moisturized and hydrated all day long. It wears great under makeup and sunscreen. I think that it's just a really, really nice daytime moisturizer. I wish that they didn't use the word mattifying in the title because I feel like that will scare some people away. I don't think that this mattifies the skin at all. It doesn't leave me looking dry or flat or undimensional. It leaves my skin looking glowy and healthy, but it just doesn't leave me looking greasy or shiny, which is why I feel like they use that in the title, because typically those that are really acne prone have oily skin. Not always, but a lot of the times that's common. So I feel like that's why they threw that in there. But if you were worried about this making you look really matte, don't be. It doesn't do that at all. So the Cetaphil Gentle Clear Moisturizer is fabulous. I would highly recommend. All right, next up we have another new skincare launch, but this one is from CeraVe and it's called their Acne Control Gel. So this also has salicylic acid in it, but it has 2% of that ingredient, so higher amount for a leave-on. And on top of that, it also has 2 alpha hydroxy acids, glycolic and lactic acid. Great ingredients to also help to exfoliate the skin, smooth texture, lighten dark spots, prevent the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. So good, and I was so pumped to find this at the drugstore because I really don't think there's anything else that you can just pick up at Target or Walmart or CVS that has that combination of ingredients. So impressive. Plus, on top of that, you're still getting the same amazing ingredients that you'll find in other CeraVe products like niacinamide, cholesterol, sodium hyaluronate, and ceramide. So a really nice subset of helper ingredients, if you will, to kind of offset the potentially drying effects of having those 3 acids all in one product. And this is a formula that I am a huge fan of because it's not your average exfoliant. I feel like almost every other exfoliant that I own is very liquidy and runny, and once you apply it, it pretty much feels like nothing, like toner or water. But this actually has a very lightweight gel-like formula that has a moisturizing and hydrating element to it. For me personally, it's not enough to replace a moisturizer. I still like to use moisturizer on top of it, but it's just a nice little added bonus, and it feels very refreshing on the skin. There's just something about it. It's almost like it has a cooling sensation. I don't quite get it. That could just be me making that up in my head. You'll have to let me know if you feel the same way, but it feels so good and it just leaves my skin looking nice and healthy, but again, not shiny or greasy. So if you are looking for a drugstore exfoliant, look no further. This is such a great all-in-one. It's definitely not cheap. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because while it does fit into this video of being under $20, it's not affordable because you only get 1.35 fluid ounces of product, but it's worth it for me and I would highly recommend it. All right, let's move on to skincare for the body next. So I have 2 different products here, but they're both the same kind of thing. They are body butters from Soap & Glory, so we'll talk about them at the same time. This is what made me realize that I probably had no right to call this video Drugstore Hidden Gems. I was like, who do you think you are? Because are these old news actually? Part of me felt like this was the type of product that was talked about and raved about years ago in like the OG makeup YouTube days, and that they're old news at this point, but at the same time I couldn't recall any videos where I saw people talking about these, so they're hidden gems to me. We'll just say that. These are some of the best body butters I have ever tried. One of the reasons why I love these so much is that they're really, what am I trying to say here? They're body butters that you can use year round because while they are thick and buttery and moisturizing, they aren't the type of body butter that is so thick and wet that it almost leaves your skin feeling damp and tacky where it kind of sticks to your clothes. I really don't like that. These are not like that at all. They fully dry down, but they're moisturizing enough for me to last all day and all night. And I do have skin that will get pretty dry and tight and itchy if I'm using a lotion or a body butter that doesn't quite work out for me. So I'll pretty much know immediately if that's the case. And these leave me feeling moisturized for hours, but they're just not that kind of wet, tacky feeling. So on top of that, I mean, the formula is incredible. It's very delicious. It feels so nice to rub into the skin. But what's even more delicious is the smell. So this one right here is called Smoothie Star Body Butter, and it's vanilla and almond scented. Oh my gosh. This is my personal favorite kind of smell for anything body related. I love the combination of vanilla and almond. Oh, that is heavenly. And this one right here is called A Cream Come True. It is their coconut and clean scent. Really nice too. This is more of a summery, tropical smell. If you like fresh coconut, you'll enjoy this. This one right here is a luminous body butter. So I know that that is not for everybody, but I actually really like it. I will say at first when I applied it, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like Edward from Twilight. It's a little bit disco ball-y, but once you give it time to fully absorb into the skin, that kind of goes away and you're just left with this iridescent, do we see that? I put it on last night. There's just this subtle glow there that's like, hey, why are you glowing? But it doesn't look like I have glitter all over my skin, you know, because that I would not be a fan of. But if you don't want, you know, that kind of sheeny shine, then this Smoothie Star one does not have that finish at all. It's just normal. So really amazing smells, amazing formulas, and they have really good ingredients too. Things like shea butter, cacao butter, coconut oil, rose oil, pistachio oil. So just all around incredible products. I cannot recommend these enough. I feel like I'm gonna repurchase these until the end of time, honestly. All right, let's move on to makeup finds next. So this is a product right here that I talked about in my May favorites video, but I wanted to include it in this video because I feel like this truly is a drugstore hidden gem. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I don't really see people hyping this up in the way that it deserves to be hyped. So I will take on that responsibility. It's the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation Sunscreen. This actually has broad spectrum SPF 50 added to it, which is very unheard of, honestly, when it comes to a complexion product from the drugstore. Typically, sunscreen's not added to foundations or tinted moisturizers, but if it is, it's like SPF 8. SPF 11, and I'm like, what even is the point of that? You might as well just skip it. So SPF 50 is always exciting to see. I do like to clarify that I never rely on products like this on their own for sun protection because you're typically just not going to be using enough of that product to guarantee full, consistent, even coverage in the SPF department. And you guys know I don't take any risks there, but still, I think it's great for the drugstore. The reason why I love this so much though is because of the formula and the finish on the skin. It's incredibly lightweight, it's very blendable. You get really nice medium coverage at first. If you wanted to sheer it out to make it more light/medium, you could do that. If you wanted to build it up with a second application to get fuller coverage, you can also do that. But it just gives the most flawless finish on the skin. It looks satiny, healthy, radiant, but it's not greasy or shiny. It is so beautiful. That's what I'm wearing right now. I'm obsessed with it. I cannot get enough. So if you've been on the lookout for a product like that, then I think you're gonna be just as obsessed as I am. All right, next up is a product that I actually don't use in the way that it's intended to be used. This is from Milani, and it's their cream to powder foundation. But as you can probably tell, this shade is far too dark for my pasty skin to use as a foundation, and that's because I use this as a bronzer. I've been looking for really good cream bronzers that need to do a lot of things for me. I want them to be buildable and blendable. I want them to not look greasy or too shiny on the skin. They need to last all day and not break up my makeup as the day goes on. They also need to apply great on top of product and not cause that makeup to kind of streak and pull and smudge. And I found that in this Milani foundation. So this, I wouldn't necessarily agree that it, you know, goes powdery. Like cream to powder feels like a bit of a stretch, but I kind of see where they were going with that because it does lighten up on the skin as I blend it in, and it just doesn't feel heavy. So it really is the perfect kind of formula for a cream bronzer in my opinion. Looks so nice on the skin, and I feel like this is the perfect type of product for a more naturally bronzed look that's not too intense. So if you're looking for something like that, I think you'll love. All right, next up is a blush from Essence. This is called The Blush. And I feel like there's so many products from Essence that get a ton of hype. People rave about them. Their blushes don't seem to be one of those, but they should be. They are so good and they're dirt cheap. This was literally $2.99. Like, what? That feels illegal almost. So what I love about this is that it's a really versatile blush. It starts off subtle, not too intense, doesn't have too much pigment, really just gives you that pretty kind of healthy, natural flush to the cheeks. But if you want to take it there and really build up the pigment, have a more intense pop of color, if you're super into that really, really flushed look, you can also do that with this, and it's so nice. It's not too powdery, it's lightweight, it doesn't look cakey. I feel like it just settles really naturally into the skin. It's also what I'm wearing right now. I love it, and it's a very long-lasting blush as well. So I think they actually only have 4 shades, and I have 3 of the 4. I told you guys, I love these. So this one right here is called Beloved. It's a really pretty, bright, poppy pink. Oh my gosh, love that. It actually really took me by surprise because usually I am more into shades like this right here, which is called Befitting. This is just a neutral kind of brownish pink. Oh, I love blushes like this. Oh, so good. And then this shade right here is called Believing, and this is a cool toned pink with that slightly kind of purpley tint to it, but it's not something that looks purple on the cheeks. So I think all of them are gorgeous. I hope they come out with more shades because this seriously is such a good formula. It's so cheap. I love it. All right, next up is my all-time favorite lipstick formula from the Drugstore, which is saying a lot because I am a lipstick snob and I have tried a disturbing amount of lipsticks. You should have seen my old lipstick collection before I decluttered it. It honestly was embarrassing. This is the best I've tried from the Drugstore. It's the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick, and I don't typically have a ton of success with Revlon, but this formula is perfect. The reason why I love it so much is because it doesn't have a ton of pigment to it. I mean, it's definitely pigmented, but it's not so much where it's like, whoo, that's intense, like that full coverage lip color kind of moment is not what you get with this. You get more of a medium amount of pigment, and it looks beautiful on the lips because of that. It's just so much more natural than something that's intensely pigmented is what I'm trying to say. And they have some really pretty shades. I have 2 here that of course look nearly identical at first, but they do have slightly different undertones. The first is Bare Affair, which is a light pink that has a slight kind of peachy warmth to it. And the second is Bare It All, and this one is also a light pink, but has a little bit more of a neutral, slightly cool undertone to it. I think both are absolutely beautiful. It has such a pretty sheeny, almost glossy finish on the lips. I just love these so much. So if you want a lipstick that looks natural but still gives you color, then you have to try these out. You have to, I'm begging you. Next up is a ColourPop mascara. So this is their BFF volumizing mascara, specifically in the shade Brownie Points. So this is a brown mascara, and that is why I love this so much, because brown mascaras are just really pretty and more natural looking than an intense black. So if you're doing a look that is just like a tinted sunscreen, let's say, maybe a little bit of cream blush, and that's it. Sometimes a black mascara can just look a little bit off with something like that, but a brown mascara complements it perfectly. So pretty. And it's really hard for me actually to find completely brown mascaras that have a wand and a formula that I really like. I feel like a lot are brownish black, where they just end up looking black on the lash, but this one is fully brown. It has a wand that I would say is similar to the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise wand, kind of that tapered vibe. And this I would say has a little bit of a wetter formula than a dry one, which I prefer. So my favorite natural lash look mascara of the moment. All right, second to last is a lip oil from the Ulta Beauty brand. Actually, it's called their Juice Infused Lip Oil. This one right here is the apple scent. They have a lot of different kind of fruity, fresh, fun scents like that. And it looks like it's pink, but it goes on completely clear, so it's not tinted. This formula is so juicy and delicious. It's not as thin and liquidy as some glosses. I don't want to call it thick because that makes it sound unpleasant, but it has just this kind of slight thickness to it that feels incredible on the lips. It's not sticky at all. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. It just feels so conditioning, and it looks like literal juice on the lips. It's so good. And like $9. I mean, come on. All right, last up we have a setting spray from Revolution. This is called their Hydrate and Fix Radiance Makeup Fixing Spray, and I have been on the hunt for a fragrance and essential oil-free setting spray for the longest time. I was about to give up until I discovered this, and I am so happy that I did because it's really good. So I bought this intentionally to use on top of sunscreen. There are so many sunscreens that I have that have a really nice tint that I really enjoy, but they just look a little bit too shiny on my skin, especially with multiple applications as the day goes on. So I wanted something that I could spritz on top of that would help to kind of just tone that down a little bit, but not make me look flat and matte. And I would say that this does exactly that. So I know it has the word hydrate and radiance in the title. It does have some nice hydrating ingredients like aloe and panthenol, to be fair, but they're towards the bottom of the label, whereas the second ingredient is denatured alcohol, and that's why I bought it. So definitely not going to be for those of you that have super dry skin, but you've already got a million dewy setting sprays out there. Let us have our moment. It's not something that leaves my skin feeling dry or tight at all, especially when I have a ton of amazing hydrating and moisturizing skincare products on already underneath it. But like I said, it just helps to kind of tone down the shine whenever I need it. And of course, it works great for makeup as well and helps it to last longer. So if you have a skin type like me and you've been looking for a setting spray that is fragrance and essential oil free, I found one for you. I love it. All right, you guys, we have made it to the end of this video. Those are all the drugstore finds that I wanted to share. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you found some things that you are excited to test out. As always, you have to let me know in the comments below if you decide to pick anything up after watching this video, or things up if there's more than one. I'll have everything listed in my description box below. Let me know in the comments also a couple things if you would like a part 2 of this video, because there's definitely always more where this came from, let's be honest. And let me know if there is any drugstore gem, hidden or not, that you're obsessed with that you think that I need to try potentially for a part 2. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Again, subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell, send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for your support in doing all of those things. Stay tuned for my next video because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.